Visuals on your screen right now of the actor Jacqueline Fernandez. Remember, she's set to appear before the court today. This is in the money laundering case in which she is also being investigated. Just to bring you a little bit more context on this entire story, I just want to remind you that she was even mobbed last week when she appeared in court in the same extortion case. Remember, this is the 200 crore extortion case that's connected to the alleged conman Sukesh Chandrashekhar, in which Jacqueline is also an accused. Let's go very quickly to my colleague Ananya. Ananya, bring us up to date with the legal proceedings in this case so far when it comes specifically to Jacqueline Fernandez.
Well, remember that Jacqueline Fernandez is A10 into this particular case. That is accused number 10. Number 1 remains to be Sukesh Chandrashekhar. Number 2 is his wife, Lina Maria Paul. And then the list goes on till Jacqueline Fernandez is the last final accused into this particular case. At this point of time, remember, she was named as an accused in the 4th supplementary charge sheet that was filed by the Enforcement Directorate in this particular case. Remember, this is a case of 200 crore of duping of a businessman's wife. In fact, after Sukesh Chandrashekhar actually impersonated as, in fact, the Law Secretary and the Home Secretary of the country. Now, what is the charge against Jacqueline? Number 1, that Jacqueline Fernandez actually was a part and parcel to this money laundering because she used these proceeds of crime. She used the gifts that were bought or were actually bought by these proceeds of crime. Second charge is that even after knowing Sukesh Chandrashekhar, she continued to be associated with him, continued to receive gifts from him. And a very, very clear statement that comes out from the charge sheet and has been said by the Enforcement Directorate in its 4th supplementary charge sheet is that in the lure of money, Jacqueline actually forgot who Sukesh Chandrashekhar was. So very, very key arguments being taking place and a lot happening today because the arguments in charge would be beginning and we'll have to wait and watch as to how things pan out when the arguments in charge begin and how the ED would actually proceed to bring out a case against both Jacqueline Fernandez and Sukesh Chandrashekhar and others also involved into this particular case. So a big day coming in. In fact, we are very, very close to the trial of this case after, in case the charges are framed against all of these accused persons, they would be asked if they want to plead guilty or not guilty. If they plead not guilty, then trial would begin into this particular case and then we'll get to see the finality of it. Because remember then on the last date of hearing, the court had said that since most of the accused persons in this particular case are inside the jail, that there should be some kind of expedition, some kind of the probe should be expedited and the trial should begin very, very soon into this particular case. So we might see that the arguments in charge conclude very, very soon and then we see that the trial is begin into this particular case.
Okay. Ananya, thank you for bringing us those details. Ananya, we do have one more question for you over here. If you could walk us through what Jacqueline Fernandez's defense has been, but then also walk us through some of the holes that experts have pointed out in the argument that we've seen her put forth. Largely, obviously, I know a quick summary is that she said that she didn't know the level and the depth of allegations against Sukesh Chandrashekhar, but bring us more information here.
Well, Jacqueline's clear defense has always been that she is not an accused. She is not, in fact, somebody who's in part parcel to this conspiracy, but is somebody who's a victim, somebody who's also conned by Sukesh Chandrashekhar. And a very, very key argument that's been taking place by Jacqueline Fernandez is that, in fact, she was one of those actresses who was named, but only she has been made an accused and no other actress, whether we talk of Noora Fateh, whether we talk of Bhumi Pednekar, whose name was mentioned, but she was the one only who was made an accused into this particular case. So she says that there is some kind of a pick and choose happening, and that's the clear defense that is being adopted by the counsel for Jacqueline Fernandez. But how things would proceed today is a matter of time, and we'll get to know when the arguments in charge begin, and we'll see as to who would be going first, whether it is the ED or the Jacqueline's legal team. But as we know, when arguments in charge take place, the prosecution first presents its case. So it would definitely be the Enforcement Directorate who would be going first. And then we'll see that Jacqueline's counsels would actually counter all of these claims.
Okay, all right. Ananya, thank you for those details. We are going to move on now. We are moving to the